ones I could just move them away every time they tried to artillery them, so that was quite good. So you can see I'm on the other side of the map now, and there's quite a build-up of German tanks. I think this is actually one of their main assaults. They started rolling them in, and they managed to break through. Luggage's tanks are yellow there, and unfortunately the enemy are both red, so you can't see who's who. But you can see there's quite a few of them. And again, they smash through. It's one of my Sherman Fireflies. On the right hand side, that he pretty much murdered my defences straight away. Once they found it, it was just completely destroyed by the. You can see the trench is gone. The machine gun nest that I built there was gone. Now they found my base, which is in the bottom right corner. And you can see the red smoke means I'm just about to get artillery. So once they'd done that, and actually gone away again, because I think that tank got destroyed, I upped and moved my base to theirs, to Luggage's, so they wouldn't be able to artillery again, because obviously once you know where a base is, it's just a case of keep firing your arty there until you destroy something, even if you can't really see, because the fog of war comes over again once it's dark. So just move those bad boys over and planted them in Luggage's base and let him know, so that because they hadn't actually found his base at that point, so they'd be relatively safe there. Plus we could combine our efforts and hopefully have a bit better defences, but on reflection it might not have been the best idea, but it did stop temporarily from them from destroying. And this is quite an interesting point as well there. You could see the white lines above the base, above the thing that was being repaired. With the British you can you can choose certain things from the engineers, so you can have elite repair engineers, so they can repair vehicles and static emplacements, and they can do it to such a level where it goes white, so it's like extra powerful in defence wise. You can see here I built up quite a few tanks. We've got a few Sherman Fireflies and the 105mm, which is currently firing at their base, or at least across the river. At one point we managed to get some tanks, which you'll probably see in a minute, across to the other side, and then just found their base, and it was just a case of using the creeping barrage and giving a bit of a pounding, which I didn't realise, but I actually managed to destroy one of Bill Bailey's buildings. I didn't actually realise that because the fog of war had it covered over. But I didn't realise until watching the replay. It's quite interesting watching these replays. Again, that's Luggage's base. You can see he's built up a few tanks and he's got them just right next to the river, ready to cross. I think they made more offences than we did, which is probably why they won. Like I say, I stuck more to defences, and then and again Luggage is getting pounded from the other side of the river with the artillery pieces. It was very much a game of arty on arty right from the beginning until we just got a tremendous wave of enemy tanks into our side, which you'll see in a bit. So again, you can see here, I'll zoom right into the tanks. You can see the little gunner on top. It's really good quality. Unfortunately, all that good quality is a bit taxing at points, and all of us had warnings from the computer that our graphics settings were too high and were causing lag, which was quite amusing. And so here you can see Bill Bailey's Needleworth is firing at me. And he's got quite a few of them. They actually lit up at one point and I fired back. You can see here a couple of them and got destroyed. Not before they'd done quite a bit of damage to my stuff though. And he just built some more anyway. But he learnt from that not to bunch them up. So again we've got a build up of German tanks. And you can see here, actually I think this is when we pushed across. Yeah, this is when I pushed across with my tanks. Quickly learned not to keep them still, you have to keep them moving, but the artillery destroyed most of them already, and the British tanks just don't seem to stand a chance against the German ones. Absolutely caned. You can see didn't help, the artillery didn't help, but two left. One, I think one's a command tank as well. Pretty sure, yeah, that's the command tank, which is just doesn't have a very good gun on it, and it is really used just for giving veterancy to the other vehicles. So back on the other side of the river we've got the 105mm guns again. It's cool seeing the little animations on the guys as they put the shells in and fire them, and even cover their heads as they fire them. It's really clever. Such detail. You don't really appreciate it with the top-down games. And you can see here, this is an example of me firing into the dark because I didn't actually know where they were. I was just firing into the fog of war in the hope. So you can see over this left-hand side of the map now. The left bridge was destroyed early in the game, but me and Luggage decided to try and be sneaky. So I asked him to repair it while I built my tanks up there so we could cross. In the meantime, exactly the same time as if by coincidence, they sent a few more German tanks across the river. So we had to compete with that as well, but it's quite amusing. You can't actually see it, but the bridge is being rebuilt, and at one point Luggage typed, "Is it good to cross now?" So I tried to cross, and you'll see in a second you couldn't actually do it though. The tank's sort of getting a muddle. It's quite funny. I think it's going to happen in a minute. Here we go. So he asked me whether they could cross, so I try and cross, and no, tanks don't like it. They go all everywhere except across the bridge, so it was quite amusing. It looks like you should be able to cross it, but it's not fully repaired, so I got him to repair it a little bit more. It didn't take much longer before it was ready though, and they actually hadn't noticed it, which was quite nice, because it seemed like most of the rest of the game they noticed everything we did, and especially me. And I tried to be sneaky, move my base. But you can actually see why though, because they used a sniper which could remain cloaked through most of it, and I did actually notice him doing that. So you can see the tanks again trying to cross, not quite repaired yet. It will be in a minute. It was a good game. Frustrating to lose so badly, but or at least it felt like we lost badly. Again, crossing again with a few of. Actually, this might be. Yeah, I think this is the tanks from the left. Yeah, so they've crossed the bridge and come up on the base there. They got stuck on a bit of a building and artilleried, and then you can see this. I did it from the German point of view. But they got pretty much destroyed. But the thing that was handy was I actually got close enough to see where Bill Bailey's base was. So after that I just kept dropping artillery on them and did a bit of damage, and eventually destroyed one of the buildings. You might see it in a minute, hopefully, in one of the videos. Apologies for the video being a bit jumpy, but Fraps only records 30 seconds, so I had to sort of link them together, and I didn't really want to bore you all to death. I'm sure prizes go out to anybody that's still watching, really. So this particular bit there, I think it was a Kriegsmarine base. No, that can't be right. That's Navy. Anyway, it was, I think it was one of their armour bases. You can see it was trying artillery. That I actually managed to destroy it at one point, but I didn't realise that. If I'd have known, that might have cheered me up a bit. But I managed to destroy that building at one point. Hopefully, you'll see it just by using creeper barrages constantly through the fog of war, because I knew it was roughly there. And unlike the British, they can't move. So here we got Luggage moving in. He's got his M10 Wolverine tank destroyer at the front, but unfortunately this is one of the points of Company of Heroes. He's weak at the back, and it was facing the wrong way, so the enemy just shot it in the back, and that was the end of that. Here we go, a bit further ahead. This is nearer the end of the game. They've pushed their tanks right across the other side of the map into the far bottom corner, and have found our base. And mine was unfortunately on the outside of Luggage's, so tanks and artillery had given me a hell of a pounding. Luggage is sitting in relative safety. At this point, I think I was pretty much mullered, really. I didn't. Vehicles were badly damaged. You can see again. I upped and moved them back to the other side of the map actually, and hope they hadn't noticed. And I think I've got an engineers, a captain, and that's about it left. Really, it wasn't in a good state at that point. So, and Luggage wasn't either. Really, neither of us had much to defend against them with. So you can see here, just saw that sniper. Then a snuck a sniper down on the right hand side of the map, which was quite frustrating. I didn't really realise. I had nothing to detect them, so that sniper there. I've just switched to Quinn's side so you can see. But now that's on mine. You can see he's invisible, but I wouldn't have seen that. So that's how they found my base, even though I'd moved it again. I didn't realise, but they're sniping my lieutenant there. lieutenant, sorry, and killed him. And then the artillery comes in because they found my base again. So, but even if the good thing about being British is even if your base is completely destroyed, you can call in another command truck as long as you've got a building left. And it was quite funny, but my machine gun nest actually kept my team alive for most of the game. So you can see here I tried to move away from where I was and replant my base, but their snipers just followed me, so we knew exactly where I was and then just got me with the artillery again. Any second now you probably see it coming in. So at this point I've got 105mm up at the front taking on the enemy. It can't do much, so point blank. It's got a 50 caliber machine gun on top, so did a little bit of damage. But again, look at the menace of the German armour rolling our way, so we're in big trouble. Got some engineers preparing my stuff, but it's not going to be long before it's completely destroyed, and I didn't have time to build anything significant. Could call in a couple of 105mm, but because they'd already taken some of our land and we'd already been using it trying to defend ourselves, we didn't have much. Here we go, this is quite funny, the physics. You see there's tanks bouncing across the landscape because it's been so badly battered by the artillery. Just bouncing, it's quite amusing. And then, well, just saw that coming across and I knew we were in trouble. There we go, you can see my base being artilleried again. And any second now it pretty much gets destroyed. I built a Bren carrier and tried to get that out of there, but that got destroyed pretty much straight away. So I think it's pretty much nearly the end now. We've got yeah, they destroyed most of my base there. Again, destroyed all of it actually, I think. Yep. You can see you can call in the command truck there because they haven't destroyed my machine gun emplacement. So they're rolling over to Luggage's base now and he's about to get some. There's my command truck. I think they spy this one and destroy it before it can get anywhere. But Luggage is yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, the command truck came out in the middle of the map just as they were going from right to left to just find Luggage's base, so she destroyed it on the way through. Now here my captain is in Luggage's base, and that is pretty much all I've got left apart from machine gun nest. There you go, you can see captain, machine gun nest and command truck, which has come out on the right hand side. And there, so I'm rebuilding that over the other side. And my captain, the good thing is, even though all my artillery's been destroyed, he can actually call in 25-pounder artillery, so I did that then to try and help Luggage. But as you can see, Luggage has got no tanks, no AT guns, and his base is just being destroyed. There's so many tanks in there. It's quite a funny bit at the end of this game. Captain seemed to be invincible. We had several tanks firing at him, but somehow he survived being killed by them. So when he started to get in trouble, I just retreated and ran him back to my base. And actually called him. Actually came back again though a bit later on. There we go. You can see him retreating. In a couple of minutes, I'll bring him back because I'll try and put some more artillery on them. So back on their side of the map, you can see pretty much untouched. 88mm everywhere. That's Quinn's base. And there he goes, Bill's Bailey's. You can see there, that's actually, he's built another building there, but I managed to destroy his building and he's rebuilt it. Now Luggage's base is pretty much destroyed. I've got my command truck. There we go, the captain's going in now. And he's going to try and call in another artillery strike, which does a little bit of damage, but not enough. Yeah, he's doing that now. And then he retreats. Unfortunately, I think that probably gave away where my base was, because I retreat him now, and off he goes, and they follow him. Obviously he doesn't run that fast really. I think it's ×8 I've got it on now, so it's going quite fast, but he ran off back to our base, and you can see I've called in another 105mm. But soon enough they're in my base, and that's pretty much that. Luggage has already been destroyed. He can't do anything but sit and watch me get mullered. So my command, I think I built command truck and a supply truck, and they are getting absolutely caned. At this point you can see a few tanks firing at my captain but not doing anything, so I actually used him in a last ditch effort to get across the other side, so I ran across the other side with him, which you might see in a minute. He's still there at the moment. Here we go. So he goes off to the other side and attempt to try and capture something. Now you can see the machine gun nest. It's the only thing that's stopping me from losing because they haven't destroyed it, but now they've found it. Captain's running to the other side. Got another command truck out, but I think they find that one. So this is pretty much the end of it. Hope you've enjoyed my long commentary. You can see here those tanks are after the mean business and they're about to destroy my last command truck. At this time, there you go, there's my command truck. Over the other side, the captain is trying to take on an AT gun with his Weebly revolver. It's quite funny. And that's the end of the game. We got completely murdered.